Okay, as previously stated, that episode was absolutely fantastic. I wonder what the consensus is, if most people loved it as much as I did. I could see how some people would say, there wasn't enough action, or, maybe they want to move past Negan, maybe they want to move past Lydia, or they don't want the Lydia drama. I can see where some people, it may not have worked for some people, but like I said, this is exactly what I want the show to be. Exactly. So, if I talk about everything, we'll be here all day. I don't want to do another 70-minute review, but I'm so excited to start my podcast. When I finish season 10, by the time most people will watch this, who knows? Who knows when that will be, since I'm so slow at editing. But once I finish season 10, I'm going to start my podcast where I rewatch the show and review every episode from the beginning. And then I can legit do like 70-minute reviews in podcast form. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. But we're going to try to keep this fairly short. So first of all, Daryl. I love him with my whole heart. I would die for Dale Dixon. I would throw myself into a pit of walkers to save him. I love him so much. He's such a beautiful character because he's still the same person. He's still believably the same Daryl we used to know, but he's grown so much and he's changed, but it's not like, oh, I don't even recognize this character. I was surprised though, and this just shows you how much he has grown. I was, because when Lydia slapped down that squirrel, I was thinking Daryl. I was thinking like, oh, she's practically his child, because it reminded me of when everybody showed up at Alexandria and they're at the gates and Daryl shoots a possum and he's like, I brought dinner. Like, it's just, or he was sitting on, like, everybody in Alexandria, like everyone was trying to acclimate and they'd all showered and everything, and he was like unshowered gutting a squirrel, or maybe he was gutting that possum on somebody's front porch. And I'm just like, yeah, he is not an indoor cat. And, but now he is. And I think that he really, Carol says to him, we should have gone to New Mexico. And I wonder how much he feels that way, because I think that he clearly cares about this community now in a way that he never did. And he wants to keep things together. But there's always going to be a part of him that's going to want to just be like on the open road and not be fenced in. And like he says to Lydia, you don't belong in a cage. They are so much alike. I love it. And oh my God, just the, I love Daryl so much, you guys. I love him so much. My heart. The way that he was taking care of Carol, bringing her dinner with the little flower. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. And then, he was taking care of Lydia. And, I think I disagree. I was really surprised. I'm all over the place with this, fuck. I was surprised that Daryl's advice to Lydia was to just ignore it. That did not feel like something that Daryl would say. I expected him to tell her to stand up for herself and to fight back. Not to pick a fight, but to stand up for herself. And when he, basically told her to just ignore it, I was really surprised. And it felt out of character in that moment. But then later on, I was like, yeah, but I can see that he really is like, he has embraced this community and he's trying to keep everything together. So it's believable that he would give her that that advice, even though I disagree with it. He took care of her. He was, you know, holding her and everything. And I was just like, oh my God, I love this man. And I love their relationship so much. They are so much alike. And it's kind of nice that they're not just like buddy buddy. Like she's pushing back against him, and because she's gone through a lot of trauma and she's still having a difficult time. And so it's nice that they're not just all like best friends or, you know, I guess what I'm trying to say is that there's believable tension in that relationship. But she also clearly trusts him, and, you know, he clearly cares about her beyond just, we need to protect her because she's Alpha's daughter. Like, he genuinely cares about her. So that was all fantastic. I finally got my Daryl and Negan conversation. That's something I've been wanting since I started watching the show again. And knowing that Negan was loose-ish, you know, he had some freedom. He was out of his cell. And there were times when Daryl was in the same scene. Like, we knew that he was right there, but there'd never been a conversation. So I like that they did call it out, that Daryl said we've never been in the same room toe-to-toe. So I guess they've never been in the same room, like, alone together. But, that was tense. That was tense. But, God, I want to go back and watch it again before I even comment on it, because there was so much going on. But I loved it. And it was so weird to be on Negan's side. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, it was mind-blowing that, you know, Daryl comes into the cell and I'm like, oh shit, and I'm worried for Negan. I'm worried about him. But, of course, in the end, Daryl did the right thing because that's who he is. He's always going to do the right thing. So I loved that. Even though he doesn't give a shit about Negan, you know, and why would he? But he did the right thing because that's who Daryl is. So I just loved it. And he believed Lydia. Oh, my heart is full. My heart is full. So good. And speaking of Negan, I fucking love him. Love him with my whole heart. He is such a great character. He's so interesting, and I love how he has sort of taken Lydia under his wing. And it's so crazy in a way that you have Daryl being a father figure to Lydia, but then you also kind of have Negan being a father figure. And again, those two men, like, oh my God. I wonder if we're gonna get a fight, like a physical fight between them. Like, maybe they just need to come to blows. And I wonder if Daryl is gonna go out looking for Negan now that he's disappeared. Oh, it's just so much in this episode. So good. So good. Okay. And I loved the tension in Alexandria. You know, there was so much amazing character work in this episode. And down to like little tiny details where people feel like actual people, and these communities feel like real communities, and people feel like they really have relationships with one another. And there would be dissenters. There would be people who would be dicks to Lydia. That would happen. They wouldn't just accept her, not everybody. So it makes sense. And I liked that. And I like that there are people who want to fight back, because it's also kind of surprising to me that there hasn't been a big and I get, you know, Michonne called the herd a nuclear weapon, right? So she said Alpha has a nuclear weapon. And yeah, they've called out the fact that if Alpha unleashes the herd, it will destroy Alexandria and Hilltop. They would literally destroy the communities. Their hands are tied in a believable way. But it is strange to see our people not like trying to formulate a plan. Like they're basically just going with the flow. They're just kind of accepting these borders, accepting these rules. And Judith is so fucking smart. That conversation with Michonne, she was so smart. And she pointed out, she said maybe their rules are changing. And that's the thing, right? That's the thing. And they keep accepting, going along with their rules and accepting their boundaries and everything. And Alpha isn't going to play fair. She's going to keep changing the rules. It is strange that they're not like formulating a plan. I liked in that first episode when we saw that they were training and preparing, you know, for a big herd to come through and overrun the communities. So I liked that, but I still feel like there should be some kind of plan to deal with Alpha specifically, to deal with the Whisperers, and not just preparing for the herd, you know? So that's a little strange. That feels a little strange. But yeah, I think it's very believable that there would be people who would be, you know, wanting to fight, just wanting to go in there and take out the Whisperers and take out Alpha. So I liked seeing that tension. Back to Negan really quick. So I am guessing that I don't know. Because I was going to say I'm guessing that he's gone now. Because I can't see him just coming back to Alexandria. I don't mean gone from the show, but I mean gone from Alexandria, because I just can't picture him coming back. And there needed to be something like this. There needed to be an event that would happen because we couldn't keep Negan in the cell. We couldn't keep Negan as a prisoner. He would get stale as a character. So we needed to do something to shake things up, and this was perfect. Perfect. So is he going to be on the run for the rest of the season? You know, is Daryl going to go out looking for him? I'm so interested in what they might be doing with him. And I don't have a fucking clue. I don't have a clue. But I hope that we still check in with Negan, because I love him so much. And I don't want him to be separate from all these people, because I love, you know, obviously Negan and Judith, Negan and Lydia, even Negan and Michonne, Negan and Gabe. Like, great. All great, all really super interesting. And I don't generally find Gabriel a very interesting character. Like, he's, you know, he's fine, but I'm not really super, like, intrigued or interested in anything that's going on with him. But he has great chemistry with Negan, and that they have a really interesting relationship. And like I've said before, you know, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is one of those people who has chemistry with literally everybody. Literally everybody. So he's just so charismatic. So I guess the only other thing that I really want to spend time talking about, because I don't want this to be too long, is Michonne and Ezekiel and their conversation. I love that we're seeing everybody deal with trauma. You know, how well they're dealing with it, I don't know, but everybody is dealing with trauma instead of just brushing it off, because yes, these people would have trauma. They definitely would. And so it's heartbreaking for me to see Ezekiel like this. But it's also really interesting for his character. So at first, when Ezekiel kissed Michonne, I was like, what? Because I thought this was like a relationship and it was a Rosita and Gabriel situation. But no, it was just a kind of moment of weakness and vulnerability, and Ezekiel was just looking for some connection. And I think they both handled it really, really well. I adored that scene. That was some fucking powerhouse acting from Denai. Like that. Oh my God. So fucking good. She is so good. And both of them were just breaking my heart. They were just killing me in that scene. So beautiful. And again, I just love these characters loving each other and talking to each other and being there for each other. It's beautiful. But it is really hard to see Ezekiel sad. And, you know, he's talking about his mask, and I think he was talking about the, you know, the King Ezekiel mask that he was wearing. And now that he's lost his kingdom, he feels like he can't wear that mask anymore. He can't be the king. I still don't know who is in charge, though. Jerry asked, you know, still calls Ezekiel boss, and asked him, you know, what should we do, boss, or something like that. And I was like, so are they telling us that Ezekiel is in charge? But then it seemed like Yumiko was in charge. Yeah. Oh, and just with Michonne, her mother-daughter relationship with Judith is so beautiful. They're just so adorable, so great together. I love Judith. I just love all of these people. And I was thinking about that before I sat down to film. I was like, you know, we're going to lose more people this season because it's The Walking Dead. I don't know who we're going to lose. I don't know when we're going to lose them, but we're going to lose more people. And there is nobody to spare. There's nobody. Even, you know, random extras who are barely named. Like, there are people that I care about. I don't even know their names. Like the girl with the barcode tattoo. I don't even know her name, but I care about her. I remember that she was a savior and everything, but I wouldn't want to see her die, you know? And Diane, the, I think she was from the Kingdom. You know, I don't want to lose anybody, damn it. I don't want to lose anybody. Oh, I should talk about the action at the hilltop, which was great. Loved it. Very tense. But I didn't understand why they didn't call for reinforcements. Why, you know, Oceanside and Alexandria weren't coming to help, because the hilltop almost fell. So that was really strange to me. And I was wondering throughout the episode if we were like watching them in a different, like if it was a different time frame or something like that, because I was like, why wouldn't they be, you know, asking for help? I thought that was really strange, but they handled it. So, and Eugene is there to repair the wall. I love him. All right. I think I've talked long enough. So, anyway, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.